How's it going, YouTube? Recently, they announced a Street Fighter slash Shadowverse crossover. We are getting Street Fighter characters as leaders for Shadowverse, and the community has been really talking about this and what it means for the game. So I want to take some time to talk about what this means. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, give me a like, give me a sub, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Alright, so before we start, let me just say that in the English side of things, side games have maybe not been that great at communicating what exactly is going on. So if anything that I say turns out being wrong or anything like that, then I apologize for that. But the basic news that we have is that we are getting 7 Street Fighter characters as leaders. And as you can see here, we have Cammy for Forest, Chun-Li for Sword, Yuri for Rune, Ryu is Dragon, Bison is Shadow, Vega is Blood, and Karen is Haven. Now, the announcement was, I think, pretty cool, but nobody saw this coming. In the community, at least in the English side of things, like in Reddit, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, stuff like that, I feel like people just were not ready for this. Nobody was expecting this. When they made the announcement, we thought that it might be like either more story or another expansion, something like that. I don't think anybody really saw Street Fighter characters coming. And, you know, some people are maybe not that happy about this, and I think that's fine. If you're not a fan of the Street Fighter universe or the characters or something like that, then, you know, I understand that you might not be that excited. But as somebody who is a fan of this Street Fighter and the characters and everything like that, I think it's fantastic. I think it wasn't expected. It's super a little weird, but I think that's good, you know. It's unexpected and exciting. So I'm pretty excited, looking forward to it. The news that we have is that it's going to come out sometime in spring. So maybe like April, maybe that coincides with the next expansion or something like that. Talking about the choice of characters, I think they did a pretty good job. It's pretty clear that they wouldn't pick any character that is not playable in Street Fighter V. So although we might not have a character like Sagat, who is an old fan favorite, it makes sense because he's not in Street Fighter V, and I think the roster they picked is pretty good. I think they picked characters that are recognized by people that are not exactly fan of the Street Fighter or like fighting games and that. And I think they did a good job in that, because even if you don't really follow fighting games or anything like that, you probably still know who somebody like Cammy and Chun-Li is, and I think those characters will still sell well. Talking about the characters selling, from what we know so far, I believe the characters only you can only buy them with crystals, not with rupees. And I know a lot of people might be a little disappointed about this, but I think it makes sense. Obviously, it's like premium content, and they're doing a collab with another company, so I think it's understandable that they are trying to, you know, make money out of this. Ultimately, they are a free-to-play game, and Shadowverse, as it is pretty generous. So I think it's them, you know, only being purchasable with crystals is fine. Personally, I think the character choices are fine. The only difference that I would have made is that I would have liked to see Akuma instead of Vega as Blood. I think that would have been really cool. You know, Akuma's one of the most popular Street Fighter characters, so I'm a little surprised that he's not in there, but I do think they made a pretty good choice overall, and I'm definitely looking forward to buying at least some of my characters. What I would say is that I'm someone that personally did not buy any other current alternate leaders. I've not bought like Forte or Bane or anything like that, but I will be buying at least Yuri and Ryu. So I think that means they're doing a good job here. Now, I also want to talk about what this collab means for Shadowverse in general. Obviously, Shadowverse is doing really well in Japan. That's where the biggest fan base is, where the game started, and everything like that. And I'm curious as to what the community's reaction for this announcement was over there. So if anybody knows how the Japanese people react to it, let me know, because I'm definitely very curious. But my point with this is that while Shadowverse is pretty established in Japan and it's huge over there, in the West, maybe not as much. Shadowverse, you know, it's a great game, and it's definitely growing, gaining popularity with like the English market, but it still has a lot of room to grow. I think pairing Shadowverse with an established franchise such as Street Fighter is a very good thing, a very smart thing, because for a lot of people, at least in the English side of things, they might not really know what Shadowverse is, but the fact that it's paired up with Street Fighter, I think it kind of gives it that legitimacy that is, you know, kind of hard to find otherwise. So I think that's a pretty good for the game in general. And I'm really curious as to how the Japanese people receive the news. Over here, we have people complain about the characters and the way they look, and I think those are valid complaints. I think the characters look well, they look good. The only problem is that they don't really mesh too well with the existing Shadowverse art style. And I think that makes sense in the sense that, like, you know, the characters from a different universe, and no matter how the art is, at the end of the day, they might not fit exactly as a Shadowverse character would, if that makes sense. What I would say about this, though, is that is a very valid concern, but We've also only seen very early footage right now. If they are expected to be released like 2 months from now, then it's possible, and I would say likely, that they will, you know, maybe work on them a little bit more, and by the time they'll come out, they'll look a little bit better. Anyway, I'm really excited for the Street Fighter collab. I definitely did not see this coming, and it's pretty crazy to me that Shadowverse and Street Fighter would ever do anything together, but I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you guys would like more content like this. I definitely appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys for watching.